So I thought I'd do a build video on my little MiniHex, and I'll run through that and I'll show you what I've done in the mods. But that's basically the kit, and you can get that from my RC Mart, and it's $20, and to me that's good value, so I got a spare one. So this guy here, what I've done is I've done a couple of mods to it. What I've done is I've put these spacers on here, and I've put bolts straight up through the bottom there and tighten that up. And same here, the original kit comes with the plastic screws, and you screw in from the top and you screw in from the underside, and you hold it all together, and it's pretty, I don't know, pretty flimsy if you want to put some half decent motors on. We're flying the ready to fly BL Heli 20 amp ESCs. They're $9 each. And what I've done is I've made my own little power distro board. So there's all the layout. It's got provisions for pick up 12 volt or 16 volt off the board. So this is a 4-cell unit, and the camera and everything I use runs off a 4-cell, so there's no need to use a stepper up or down on it. So basically that's how that all fits together. Now I am using the little mini plug-in units purely for the fact that I like to be able to disconnect and replace motors. I don't really like my motors soldered straight onto the unit there. So got some sticky underneath there to house the battery. So basically everything there is good to go. So these were the motors that I were using on the little MiniHex, and they are the BE1806 2300 kVs, and they are the DYS motor. Now these are a really good motor, but they're a cheap motor. They're about $10, $12 Australian to buy, and they are good. They are recommended only for 2 and 3 cell. I run 4 cells on it, and if you do run them flat stick, you will eventually burn them out, shorten their life, but they are a really good motor. What I've decided to do is I've updated all the motors on the Hex to these Multi-Star Elites. Now the Multi-Star Elites are a 2300 kV motor, and they are, as you can see, they are a lot bigger motor, and I've had to slot the holes out here to take the bigger motor, and I've had to drill out the center there to clear the circlip there. So now we come back to how we're going to fit these, and I've numbered these. This is you can see the little arrow there pointing to the front, and that sits out the front for the video camera. So I've numbered it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When all these go together and go up onto the flight control board, I know which one's exactly which because I've marked all of these. So that one's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6, and that guy there is number 1. So that's how they work. This is the flight control board, so you can see here, I'll remove that. So this guy here, this is the all-in-one camera. So this guy here actually sits on there as well and picks up those holes. Okay, so that all holds that together. That's mounted on there. That's a Flip 32, and then of course that's a plate that I made up. This then sits on, this is all the gear for the holding the cameras on board for me video footage, but that sits on there, that sits on there, GoPro on the top, video camera there, and here's our little transmitter for the FPV. So the transmitter for the FPV plugs in there and sits on the back, and of course that goes around and is wired into that socket, and basically that's what you've got. Now these cameras here and video are all in one, so you can't run an on-screen display unless you hack into these wires here, and I personally don't worry about it with this. I just set the timer and away we go. But basically that's how that sits, and that sits on the top, and we're back in service. So you can see now we've got all the motors wiring just needs to be held in place once I'm happy that the motors are going the right way, and basically that's how they're held on. So we've got the screws going all the way through, and we're bolted through there, and we're held, and we're now ready to do our continuity test and make sure that all our wiring is legitimate and not nothing crossed over. So we'll do that now, and we'll make sure that that's all good. So all good there. So we should get sound there, and there, and there, and we shouldn't get any sound there. So that's fine. So that's our negative. So if we hold that there, we should not have heard that noise. So basically we are good to go.